Hey, so I wanted to talk about the idea of redemption, and I'm not trying to convert you to Christianity. I think that's like a legit kind of redemption, if you're up for it. But I think the idea of redemption is also around in the conversation about Asperger's and high-functioning autism. And what I mean by redemption is the idea that if someone has a disability, if they're good at something else, it's okay that they have a disability. And the kind of things you can be good at, it's a very narrow thing. It's the kind of things that are considered to be good by, like, intellectuals or something. Or, I don't even know. Like, let's say you're really good at playing soccer. That would probably be okay. Or if you're really good at killing cows, or music criticism, anything like that. If you have an ASD, but you're good at something like that, then it's okay that you have an ASD. And you shouldn't even call it a disability because all the trouble that you take up is canceled out by the fact that you do such and such good thing. Well, this isn't really a point of view that I want to be part of because I think that it's kind of messed up and offensive. And I feel like the whole idea that people who take extra work to take care of, or people who have a disability, so just like, even just people who are like kind of different and need a different thing from the world, we live in a culture that sees that as such an awful thing, that like such people are like a huge burden and you should be really freaked out about them. And into the middle of that come people like Temple Grandin who will try to argue that people with Asperger's and HFA are like super special smart at certain things, and because of that it's not really a disability, or it's okay, or like a dash of autism creates a genius, or whatever stupid recipe thing she's been saying lately. I just That's still really ableist. If you think that okay, well, it's okay to have this because it creates a genius. I mean, the whole idea that being a genius is such an important and valuable thing, it's not all there is to life, and that isn't the only kind of valuable people that there are. And okay, so it's weird for me. I guess I'm like a high functioning person, but really the reason I tend to think of myself as a high functioning person is just because people don't perceive me as having a disability most of the time. But it's funny because I don't feel that I'm a genius or that anyone perceives me that way. I definitely don't feel like a fucking savant, like I'm good at some things, but it's not anything amazing. And I think when people meet me, there's very little sense of me being a genius. Like, to the extent that anyone thinks anything about me in terms of disability or difference, it's probably that I'm kind of out of it, or that I seem like kind of an asshole, or just that I'm kind of stupid. So, I don't relate to the genius thing. I guess I relate more to people who are intellectually disabled because I feel like people give them the same kind of impatience and weird looks that they give me. So, yeah, those are the people that I feel the closest to. And it's upsetting to see other Asperger's people, like, throw intellectually disabled people under the bus. And, like, I just see so much writing by people with Asperger's who, like, if they see themselves grouped in any, like, piece of writing, people who are retarded, they'll be like, oh, I'm not retarded, it's not the same thing, people think it's the same thing. And it's like, okay, buddy, like, it's not exactly the same thing, but, like, there's some overlap, just calm down. Like, there are similar things about the way retarded and autistic people move, and the way we sometimes process things, and the way people treat us. Like, okay, I get that it's not exactly the same thing, but don't, like, fall all over yourself trying to distance yourself from another group of people with a disability, because it just makes you look like an asshole. And I really feel like this idea that people with ASDs are valuable only as long as we have, like, these particular amazing talents is just kind of bad in the long run. And I feel bad when I think about any particular person who has risen to a measure of success because they're seen as being so super talented, and, like, their ASD is just some adorable quirk because they're so talented, it's okay. I mean, what if that person goes through something really bad and their speech kind of shuts down, like, and they can't do so well? Or, I don't know, for me, I used to be really good at reading, and now I have a lot of trouble reading, and, that skill is just not really there for me anymore. And, if you've spent so much time arguing that you're okay because you're good at such and such, what do you do if you stop being good at such and such? What does that make you? Does that make you not okay anymore? I don't think that it does, and I don't think anybody should have to redeem their disability by being a genius. I feel like people can act like this with all kinds of disabilities, or just any kind of, like, minority group that people discriminate against. Like, I mean, when you think about it, you can see it so much in, like, fucking Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, and, like, the whole fact that, like, all the gay guys in public on television are gay guys who have these particular skills that are supposed to be useful for straight people. It's like, I know, and they don't have any lesbians because we're not good at anything, I guess. But it's just like, they're trying to say, okay, like, you have to accept gay guys because, like, okay, they're gay, but look at this other stuff they can do. Like, look how they can help you. And it's like, why do you have to be so fucking selfish and think that other people only matter if they can contribute something in a way that you think is an appropriate way to contribute? What's wrong with someone just being, like, a regular gay person who's fairly mediocre? Because, I mean, you'd be okay with a straight person being mediocre. And I mean, the average non-disabled person that I meet, I don't usually think that they're, like, super great and that they're gonna cure cancer or anything. But then all of a sudden there's this idea that people with Asperger's are okay, but, like, a person with Down syndrome isn't okay because the person with Asperger's might cure cancer. Like, kind of stupid. Also, just, like, most of the time, not really that true. Lots of people with Asperger's, like me, for example, are pretty dumb, not particularly great at anything. And, I don't think that affects my value as a human one bit. So, yeah, that's all. I just wish that people wouldn't talk about ASDs this way because, I feel like while it may enhance the social status of a small group of people with ASDs who have special talents, it, really insults and hurts a lot of other people with disabilities, and in the long run can even have a negative effect on the people who are considered to be savants.